Hi dear students, so let's continue with nematophagous fungi. Previously, we had come across what is nematophagous fungi. Nematophagous fungi, they are fungi which can either trap, capture as well as kill and even digest the nematodes. Using specialized structures such as called the traps or sometimes even spores, these fungi can kill the nematodes. And sometimes you can see the hyphal tips might even attack the nematode eggs and cysts before the penetration of the nematode cuticle invasion as well as the digestion. And you can see that almost 200 species of nematophagous fungi are being found which have either saprophytic or parasitic ability. Now, many of the trap forming as well as the egg parasiting fungi, they will survive saprophytically, and the endoparasites are the mostly more dependent on nematodes as nutrients. Now, what about the nematodes? These nematodes can be found in the soil and they can occur as parasites. They are basically roundworms and they could be parasitic in the plants, causing a lot of damage to the plants. And hence, the control of these nematodes within the plants is of much importance. And in nature, the control of nematodes in the soil is being carried out by nematophagous fungi. Now, they are of different types. Now, we'll just go through some examples. One example which we come across is the Strophera rugosa annulata, which is a garden giant mushroom. Okay. Now, if you look into this mushroom, we see these mushrooms commonly quite in the gardens and all that. But I guess we hardly think that they have a nematophagous role. Now, if you go to look closely into Stropharia, you can see that Stropharia will produce some spores. They will be of a, this is a microscopic image which have been quoted here, and they form certain purple brown to tobacco brown spores, and these spores, they contain certain stellate cells. You can see this. You can see the stellate cells, and these stellate cells are called the acanthocytes. And acanthocytes, the exact role of acanthocyte is not known, but you can see that those stropharia which are producing acanthocytes, which have a characteristic spiky shape, those stropharia can what they have the capacity to kill the nematode. Now, this is a nematode. It's a microscopic image of a nematode, and we can see that the acanthocytes or the spiky structures which are being produced by Stropharia are capable of penetrating or penetrating and harming the nematode using its acanthocytes. So this is one way by which the Stropharia is Stropharia. It's a mushroom. It's a mushroom which is commonly being found, and that is producing acanthocytes, which is enabling it exactly to destroy the nematodes. Another example is Coprinus comatus. This is also something which has been found in the yards frequently. And Coprinus comatus is another fungi which produces typically spiny balls with contracted ends. See, these balls are being found to be spiny, and they are contracted towards the ends. And the spiny ball is quite different from other known fungal structures on other mushrooms. In two aspects, they are different. Firstly, it is morphologically distinct as its size is much smaller than those of the other known appendages, and the spiny ball does not produce nuclei, but it seems to be an incomplete cell. And we can see that these spiny balls are linked with the ability of Coprinus comatus to attack the nematodes. So, with the spines attached onto these balls, it is associated with the what? With a feature which enables it to attack the nematodes. So these are two examples which I'm telling you about the nematophagous fungi, but we will be exploring much more variants of nematophagous fungi. If we go to look into the taxonomy and phylogeny of nematophagous fungi, they mainly include ascomycetes, basidiomycetes, and psychomycetes, chytridiomycetes, as well as the oomycetes. So these are all different types of nematophagous fungi which we come across, and the nematophagous habit evolved from the lignolytic and cellulitic fungi as an adaptation to overcome the competition for nutrients in the soil. So usually we know all the fungi are being found to be, most of them, okay, they have been found to be saprophytic in nature, and they all have lignolytic as well as cellulolytic properties, which will enable them to feed as saprophytes on various plant as well as detritus of the uh, degrading matters of the soil. So, often there also exists a competition for these nutrients between the fungi as well as various other agents which have been found in the soil. And so, to outstand there in the soil for its ability to utilize nutrients, these fungi thus developed a nematophagous habit. That is, they started eating or killing the nematodes, which also occur in the soil. Based upon the ecological habitat, you can divide nematophagous fungi into nematode trapping fungi, endoparasitic fungi, as well as the egg parasites. And nematode trapping fungi, they usually capture the nematodes and they have a structural adaptation, and some of them are being found to be predatory or endoparasites, and they can even trap the host and kill it. And so we'll see what are the different types of trapping mechanisms. Different trapping mechanisms are being exhibited by the different nematode trapping agents. Now, they could be adhesive hyphae, it could be adhesive branches, adhesive nets, adhesive knobs, non-constricting rings, as well as the constricting rings. Now, what is an adhesive hyphae? Adhesive hyphae is something which is, adhesive is something which has been found to be sticking. So, the fungi will produce some hyphae which will be sticky towards the nematodes. And then the next one, we have adhesive branches. That is, the hyphae itself will have some branches, and that branches will be adhesive. Then you have net-like structures, which will be further considered to be as what? Sticky to each other. Then you also have knobs. You can look about the door, you have a think about the knob as a door knob. When you have some knobs are there on the fungi, and those knobs have been, sometimes they might be considered to be as sticky. Then we also do have rings as well as the rings. What are rings? Rings are just ring-like structures, but sometimes they will suffocate the nematode in between them. That is referred to as the constricting rings. And the other one, the other one is being considered to be a non-constricting ring, which we will be coming across with examples in the next session. Thank you for now.